Welcome back to all the crackers in the box. Here we are with my sparkly hexie cardigan again. You see those sparkles back there? Oh, look at that thing sparkle. So we're getting a bit bigger. We can fit probably a 4-year-old now, so that's pretty cool. This is a very fine weight of a discontinued Lion brand yarn, and I have enough. I know I have enough. I have more than enough, to be honest. So that's going to be fantastic. So a hexie cardigan is basically you take a hexagon shape. So in here, we went corner, cluster, corner, 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 corner. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We did 6 corners, and we just keep going. We keep building and building, and as you get bigger, you start to be able to fold it to get that shape you're going to want for your arms and your body, your torso. My big words. This is not the way you fold it, and this always gets me. I had to do this off camera to be sure that it looked good for the picture and everything, but this is what you end up with. So your arm goes through here, this is your chest, so this will probably start to fit around my arms shortly. I'm going to think maybe 3 more rows will do it. And then maybe we'll be looking at sizing it, and with the amount of yarn I have left in this big skein here, we're doing fabulous. So, super glad you're here. We're going to put in some time on this project today and chat about life. Because this is a fine weight, I'm using a 3.5 to get these little tiny clusters. They are very, very small, very, very delicate, and I love this project so very much, which I say a lot about the projects I've been working on lately. I seem to be on a I love crochet thing kick right now. Yeah, make fun of my own words. But I have been making some items that I'm very excited about, and yes, they are very slow going. I'm so sorry if you are getting tired of seeing the same items over and over, but that is how it is sometimes with certain things, and part of my goal with my channel is to be realistic about crochet, because I find I've been discouraged a few times watching other people who edit so well that it looks like it took no time at all. You hear someone say it took them 20 hours, but did you see the 20 hours? Did it really click in how long 20 hours really is? I was watching a video yesterday where the girl was talking about how long it took to make a sweater, and I started thinking about that, like how much of it really sinks in on how much time something this delicate and stunning will take. And I think that's part of the problem with people when they don't want to pay for what a crochet piece is worth. I think they just really take it for granted. They hear the number and they don't really think about what kind of hours it would take to make something like that. I don't think they have a clue. Like, you can tell them, but the reality of how long 30 hours is different than you would think. Like, I've had to sit down and break down the hours with my kids a couple times to let them know that even though they're going to school 5 days a week and I'm working 5 days a week, I'm out of the house a good almost 4 hours longer than they are. Almost. And they're having a real hard time believing that that's how it is, but it is what it is. And they're starting to understand that this is why Mom's so tired when she comes home from work, because she's been gone a lot longer than you guys are. You're already tired from school. Imagine having school be a little bit longer. So, time can be very tricky that way, and I think that is part of the reason why there are people who really do not understand the complexities of making a garment or a toy or whatever you're making, whatever you're doing for your creativity. And I think that adds up real quick. Not for time, but for effort. Because if you don't know what it takes for actual man time, man hours, man time, whatever you want to call it, women time, person power, to make something so pretty and delicate like this is going to take me months. I can't imagine this being done as a fast project. And I knew that when I started my thin ones. I have about 5 or 6 more that I want to start, but I'm going to work on them all very slowly and carefully and take my time and just take it as it goes. I am not going to rush myself through them simply because I want to make a new video or have something different in my video. So I apologize again if you're getting sick of seeing a couple of my projects over and over. I'm just showing what I'm working on. And some of them are very, very slow. Very, very slow. No matter how much time you put in, they are still going to be a slower going one. Just because of the sheer amount of how big your hook is, how thick your yarn is. You got a thicker yarn, it's going to go fast. You got a thicker hook, it's going to go fast. But if you're doing something small and delicate like this, then no, it's not going to go fast. You're just going to have to keep on motivating yourself to get it done. Or it's going to be one of those that just sits there and haunts you. I may have actually finally found the other half of my skull top that I've been working on. Yeah, that was great. I wanted that one done for Halloween, but I cleaned in here and I think I put it in a bag and then I put the bag elsewhere, which is crazy of me because I normally would never do that. But I think I found both sides of it. I know there's one side that's done and one side that's not. And I put them in 2 different bags because I was being smart. So I just kind of messed myself up on my timeline for that one, which is fine. I've been messing up my timelines on everything that I had planned out, and that's fine. I'm not planning on doing a whole ton of stuff for Christmas. I'm just going to take it easy this year. Because the last few years I have really, really put myself in a position of feeling stressed out and trying to get too much done, and I'm only going to be able to get maybe 1 or 2 things done, and that'll be great. A blanket for the living room will be really helpful, but I've decided to do some of the projects I wanted to get done for me, and I'm putting them as more of a priority because I definitely am one of those people that put myself last on a lot of things. So lately I've been trying to give myself a little more fun, a little more of what I'm looking for rather than just continually pushing it aside because I just have to for whatever reason. So I'm going to use the nice yarn. I'm going to spend some of my time doing something for myself because I never do. Oh my goodness, was my hand off the screen the whole time? I am so sorry about that. Sometimes I struggle with the cameras. But I'm learning. And that's all we can do. Getting through it and making it look gorgeous. And another double crochet cluster is done. Coming up to a corner here. And I mean, this is a pretty basic little pattern. Not mine in any way, shape, or form. The only thing I do that's different is I just keep going around and around. I do not backtrack. Most of the patterns I found that were written down on how to do this wanted you to get to where you started and then you turn your work and go back. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't like how it looked. I don't want it. It's not how I want this to lay. So I'm going my own way. You can choose to go whatever way works for you. because both turn out very nice. So I'm not worried about it. That's one of those times that you can really just do a small little improvement for yourself that you like. It's like whenever I'm making amigurumis and they wanted me to do a slip stitch at the end of the row, I won't. I figured out with one project, which I'm still super disappointed about, but I've got this line that goes all the way around this character's head from the slip stitching because I didn't know better, and I am very upset with that. I didn't have to slip stitch. It would have been fine if I had never slip stitched. So once in a while, it's okay to accommodate for you and your preferences. Yes, the artist has an idea, but little things like that, I definitely feel I am not doing anything wrong by making it somewhat more my comfort for how I crochet and how I like it to look. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You're just building upon a really good base and doing a small tweak to make it what you want, which is part of the whole crafting joy of making anything yourself. Always following what other people tell you how to do things might not necessarily work out the best for you. Like you'll follow the whole recipe or the whole pattern, and it turns out it's not exactly what you wanted. Like I've made things right to the letter and afterwards be looking at it going, it would have been much nicer if I had done this, or if I had changed the color, or if I had done a stitch here, or if I'd taken out stitches there. It would have suited my needs and my idea, which is totally a-okay. You're the one making it. So yeah, it's nice to have a good pattern for a guideline, but you can also, especially if you've done things made a few items, you start to get an idea of things that you are okay with and things you don't think you would enjoy. Almost ranted there. Was that a rant? Nah. That was more like a, hey, crochet can be slow and beautiful, and there's so many great ideas out there and so many creative people making beautiful items and coming up with amazing new techniques and ideas, and you can do it too. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to share it with everyone, but if it's something that makes your crochet journey work and make it comfortable for yourself, if you hold your crochet hook in a different way, if you are backwards and do everything upside down and sideways, but you still get something beautiful at the end, yay! I love that. I absolutely love that. I spend my Sundays usually watching homesteading, people learning how to live off the land, live off grid, making their own homes and fixing things up, and it's just awesome. Awesome, 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 because I'm watching people from all over the world. I've had a couple in I think I have one Scottish one. I think I have about 4 Canadian ones, 2 Americans, and they all have different guidelines of what they can and cannot do, so it's really interesting to me to watch the different parts of the world and their standards for building. Is quite interesting. Okay, maybe just to me, but I am also crocheting at the time, so it's just nice to hear the power tools going and whatnot. I find that quite calming, but that's just me. I don't mind the sounds of building. I think it's amazing. I think it's great. I love seeing things be created. I also love a beautiful wild space too. So with these people doing these homesteadings, it's really neat because they are working with the land and trying to keep the land as wild as possible, but still have their space built into it. I know at least 3 of them have trail cams, and they show all the different animals that walk through their properties, past their home and their building, and they're learning to coexist with them, and it's really neat. I find it quite interesting. Oh my goodness, I do enjoy this yarn. It is very soft. You would think the filament would make it a little bit on the scratchy side, but I'm finding like it's not causing me any drying out on my hand. My hands are good. No marks. I have never gotten a mark, and I have worked on this for hours at a time, and you wouldn't think so with how little it's been done, but it is a slow going project with a very thin, small hook. But to be fair, I do love a good 3.5. This is my jam. I'm still thinking about maybe getting a secondary set of these hooks for travel. Because like yesterday I wanted to take my 5.5 out and I had to figure out a glasses case. And then that didn't work, so I had to stuff it into the ball of yarn. And I just was so nervous going around anywhere with it because if it breaks, I would be very, very sad. Being that it was a nice gift from my husband and my son. Because it's all I wanted. Because they are gorgeous and I love working with them. Just like I said I would. So there is that opportunity that I may decide to get the travel ones here and there, buy one here and there. They are a little bit pricey, about $7 each, and that does add up when you're getting the whole set. But I'm also looking at it protects them and has two, and if they ever decide to stop selling them, at least I've got two of each, and that should hold me over, we hope. Go. Coming up to another corner. Oh, yeah, that's the beginning corner, actually. So we are up at the beginning of our row. So they would get you to go up here, connect all this, and then turn your work and go back the other way. So we would be going backwards. And I did not like the way it made the yarn look. Because one side is the right side out and the other side is the right side in. I didn't really enjoy that look. That to me, I noticed, and I didn't like it. So I'm not doing it. Alrighty. Now we get our half double crochet to join. And we go 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2. And we just pop to the next one. Another thing I do that they were saying to do, but I don't do, is a chain one between each cluster. I found with this yarn in particular, it really spread it too far, and I find that with most yarns too. It spreads it out too far to a point where I don't like the way it looks. Anyways, thanks for joining me here for this little bit of crochet. So glad you were here today, and we will see you again very soon. Bye!